What is going on, YouTube? So coming back today with my NBA Finals preview and prediction. So game just ended. I actually turned it off with about 20 something seconds to go when the Warriors took a timeout up 96-86. I'll give you guys the final score in 1 second. I'm assuming if you're watching this video you know what the final score was anyway, but it is a Cavs Warriors final once again. Weird to say that because it seemed like the Thunder almost for sure had it locked up. But anyway, I'll move into my preview and talk about how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to start with the two key players for each team that I think they need to be successful in the series, and then also how each team will win. How I say like Warriors will win if, and then Cavs will win if. So go ahead and start with Golden State. Two key players. First one is Klay Thompson. It sounds weird to say this, but kind of like the unsung hero for the Golden State Warriors in this series. A guy who broke the record for three-pointers in one game. Not in Game 7, but in Game 6. And shot very well in Game 7 as well. This is a guy that was shooting better than Steph Curry in this series. Steph Curry had a very good Game 7, don't get me wrong, but Klay Thompson definitely carried them through a couple of games there at the end. An unbelievably good shooter, and seems like he's been impossible to guard the last 2 or 3 games. So my second key player for Golden State is Draymond Green. He's kind of a spark plug for the Warriors. If the dude can get even 2 triple-doubles in the finals, that'll go a long way toward the Warriors winning the NBA championship again. If Draymond Green comes through with a lot of the efforts like he did against OKC, then they could be in trouble. Draymond Green was a very poor three-point shooter this past series. I believe he was hovering around 30%. So, might have been worse. But anyway, I think the Warriors will win if they hold the Cavs to less than 100 points on average. This is a Warriors team that, when defending well, has been extremely successful. They actually won 96-88 tonight. So holding the Thunder to that score obviously is very impressive. Now, the Cavs are a team that have been extremely impressive offensively throughout the playoffs so far. The 2 games on the road against Toronto to start out, games 3 and 4, were offensive struggles for Cleveland for sure, but those are the only 2 times they've really struggled, and that was against a spirited Toronto team in Toronto. So, to be honest, I think the Warriors are honestly worse defensively than the Raptors. Lowry's a hard-nosed guard. Bismack Biyombo was a rebounding monster for those 2 games. Had 26 rebounds, I believe, in Game 3. So if they can hold the Cavs to less than 100 points on average, and kind of create a little bit of turmoil inside the Cavs, then I think this is something that can be not an easy win for the Warriors, but will definitely be their key to success in my mind. So moving to my 2 key players for Cleveland, the first one's obvious, LeBron James, the catalyst for Cleveland. He's got a lot of players that need to be supporting him, but he is the plug. He's the guy that gets everything going. He's the distributor, the best defensive, best offensive player on the team, just the best player, obviously, and he's got to have a big series. This is a dude that almost averaged a triple-double every single game in the finals last year. He was unbelievable. If you remember the finals last year, which, again, if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you probably did, he averaged, 34, 38 points per game or something like that, and they won 2 games just purely because of LeBron James and Matthew Dellavedova playing defense like his life depended on it. So my second key player for Cleveland is Kevin Love. Just in my mind, I know that Kyrie's going to show out. I know that he's going to be the normal Kyrie Irving you expect. He is going to be inconsistent at times, but that's just what you get from Kyrie. Kevin Love, on the other hand, has been just a mix of results ever since he's been in Cleveland. Had a good year overall, has had good playoffs overall, but he needs to be consistent. He needs to be that good outside shooter. He needs to be that guy that can pull down some offensive rebounds and be solid, somewhat solid down low on defense. I know he's not the greatest defender in the world, but this should be a guy that is providing a lot of secondary offense for Cleveland. So I think the Cavs will win if their big three averages more than 60 points per game. I was looking at something the other night where when Cleveland's big three had scored more than 60 points per game, each of them, or no, it wasn't that. It was each player had more than 20 points per game. 5 times, 6 times, something like that, had scored more than 20 points 5, 6 times. So, and I think the previous time before that was like 1 or 2. This is a better big three in my opinion for the Cavs than LeBron had in Toronto or in Miami. Dwayne Wade, while he is a stud, at that point was starting on the down low for his career. The knees were bothering him a lot. He was not able to be physically consistent. And Chris Bosh, I believe the last year for LeBron in Miami, I don't even think Chris Bosh was there for the stretch run, but he was solid, but definitely not the same level that Kyrie and Kevin Love are at right now. And if the big three can average more than 60 points per game combined, then I don't know, that's a very dangerous thing for Cleveland because they've got other people who can score. J.R. Smith has been big in the playoffs so far. Tristan Thompson has been on and off. He's been very good at home, obviously an offensive rebounding monster. Channing Frye has been huge in the playoffs. Dellavedova, expect him to step up in the finals again. And who knows, you might get one more stepping up, whether Timothy Mozgov has some big return, which I don't think is going to happen, but can't count out Amon Shumpert either. So, get into my prediction for this series. I might get some hate for this, but I'm going to say Cavs in 6. I've said this since the second round. Cleveland looks like they are on a mission. They look like, I get it, I'm saying Cleveland should win a championship, and that's just something that Cleveland just doesn't win championships anymore. The city, not just the Cavaliers, the Indians, the Browns, everything. But man, it's hard to see. It's hard to see Cleveland losing. I know that they've had struggles in the or that they struggle with Toronto in the East. When a lot of people think they should have just swept right through them, I predicted Toronto to get swept. But I think that Cleveland is going to be able to do it. People, I don't think they'll acknowledge the fact, to the point which they should, of how much Golden State struggled with Portland and OKC. They were unbelievably close to losing to OKC on multiple occasions. I get it, OKC is a much better team than I think any team it comes even close to matching up for what Cleveland's seen so far in the playoffs. But Golden State struggled with Portland for being a 5-game series. There were a lot of games that were very close. They competed with them very well. Again, for being a 5-game series. And then, obviously, OKC was a 3-1 comeback for the Golden State Warriors. So that pretty much does it for this preview. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say, what your guys' predictions are. I love to hear what you guys have to say about it, see if you guys think the Warriors or Cavs will win this year, see if the Warriors will go back-to-back, or if the Cavs will finally steal one, and finally after, 57, I think it's 57 years now? Like 50-something years now that I think it's been since the city of Cleveland has brought home a championship in any sport, whether it be football, baseball, or basketball. But that's pretty much it. See ya.